And the last of the chaos is finally here.
Spiky Bits.
Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Rob Bear from SpikyBits.com, and in this video, we're going to unbox and build the latest, well, I guess the last wave of Chaos Space Marine releases, at least. Of course, they're coming out with Demons at the same time, which kind of makes sense. I guess Demons didn't really get any new releases here for 9th edition, which was, I guess, kind of unfortunate. But a lot of the models have been revamped already, so I could kind of understand that. So first up, we got the Accursed, or Accursed. I don't know which way you say it. Somebody let me know because everybody says it differently. Cultists, these are $50 retail price, and then the Chaos Space Marine Possess. And I'm already liking the positions and the poses on these things right here. So I'm already feeling pretty hype about these because we haven't really had good Possess models like ever. So these are already looking pretty good, and these are $60 US, which seems a little pricey for just 5 models, but hopefully they got some beef to go with the hype, I guess, to go with the cheddar, so to speak. So we'll see if they got the beef and the cheddar. Taking a look inside here, it looks like we got 2 sprues, some 40 mil bases, and the instruction manual, which we're going to take a look at the sprues here in a second. But let's dive into the instructions, kind of tighten up the camera here a bit since my stupid face is in the way here. Alright, so we got backpacks, that's cool. Looks like it's all the slicings. Okay, so they're doing all the slicings again. Looks like you have an option here for a tentacle arm or a chain arm. Looks like it's 2 parts. So you can pick either, so it looks like you're going to have this spare arm right here, unless they use part number 5 here somewhere else. Backpacks, it looks like all the backpacks are interchangeable. This one has an icon or a little spiky bits, for lack of a better term, to go on the back. I would probably go with the icon because the icon looks pretty fresh. And then you got tactical rock here, and you can put, I think, any backpack on these guys, but we'll find out here in a minute. This one with the spider arms also is a bunch of slices. It looks pretty flat. It doesn't look like you'll be able to switch out any of the arms or anything like that, unfortunately. And then you can choose to put them on tactical rock or dead space marine, it looks like. And again, putting the shoulder pad on there. And then the next guy here looks pretty good. Looks like he has an option of arms, tentacle arm, or some sort of blunted instrument arm, I guess, so to speak. 2 different head choices, that's cool. So there are going to be a few extra bits in here that you could maybe use for some Chaos Space Marines too. And then his other arm is going to be choice of kind of talon arm or chain axe arm. So lots and lots of arms here. But it looks like this one has a pinch, so you're going to have to do a little bit of work if you want to just slap that on a normal Chaos Marine. 2 different heads here for this guy. It looks like all you have to do really is put on at the end shoulder pad there, depending on what you choose. All right. So jumping into this next guy here, it looks like there's a lot going on. Some sort of tentacle thing goes across the front piece, top head, back of his leg. That's wild. Shoulder pads. So some of them do have interchangeable shoulder pads, some of them don't. And then random backpack right there. And then there's their stat line, but we've already seen that because the codex has been out here for a hot minute. Let's take a look at the sprues. I don't know if we'll be able to glean anything from this, but looks like, yeah, it looks like they're kind of on the plane here. You're going to have to do a little bit of, clipping out the sprues and then trimming up the flash. But it doesn't look too awfully bad, to be quite honest, that I'm looking at this. So a couple of different shoulder pads here. And what I'll probably do is we'll leave the extra bits on these sprues, just so you can see how many extra bits you get with these, because I'm sure people would want to mix and match them with their Chaos Space Marines. So then here, yeah, nothing really stands out to me. It looks like all of the backpacks are this kind of slotted sort of thing. This is the one that you put the icon on, and a couple of different heads here. It looks like the heads are all notched. So you could do head swaps. You could do some shoulder pad swaps, depending on what kind of bits you have. Let's check all the backpacks. And the backpacks, yep, you can pretty much use any backpack wherever you think it will work based on the posing with the little smoke clouds or, you know, kind of the positioning of the exhaust ports there. So that is the Possessed kit. Let's take a look at it now, all built up, and then jump over to the Cultists. Now here's the first one, and you can see once this guy snaps in the frame here, this guy looks great. Like I said, the Possessed haven't had good models in a very, very long time, and these guys are just gorgeous. And I mean, they're on 40 mil basis, so they're a little bit, you know, pricey. You're only going to get 5 out of a $60 kit, so you're talking 12 bucks each, which is pretty pricey, to be quite honest. Now, you'll notice here the split shoulder pad. Oh, wait, it was over here. The split shoulder pad right here. So you're going to want to use a little of your super thin glue on this just to avoid that gapping and things like that. That's a really great way to avoid those gaps. And then it looks like there's a few on the horns and stuff. You're going to want to really get in there with your knife and kind of scrape them down. But man, these things look super fresh. Not so hype on the price, but I'm really loving the posing and the dynamic kind of composition that you can do here with the things like this, with the smokes kind of going, the flames going that way as the motions kind of come into this. Now that little tentacle grabbing the knife, which is fresh by the way, that actually takes a little bit of work to get together, and it doesn't quite, you know, you got to use that super thin glue to really lock it in and kind of you know, fill all those gaps in the back there. But you can kind of see what it'll look like if you don't. This guy is fresh. I really like the posing and the composition on him. And then I think this might be a lot of people's favorite, and put the icon on him because I just think it looks better with him. And you can have him turn, you know, his head turn either way. A lot of these shoulder pads, like I said, are interchangeable and just look super fresh. And then this guy, you know, you can switch out and have him standing on the poor unfortunate Space Marine Lieutenant. This guy with the spider talons. Kind of looks a little Slaneshi, I suppose, with the leg and the talon arms, the rending kind of things, and putting this backpack on him definitely kind of lends to that sort of look, I believe. Very, very cool stuff right there. And then last but not least is this dude here with the claw. The claw! Gotta have the claw. He's probably the most dynamic out of all of them, and I think this backpack really suits him for sure on that. And he's got the little prehensile, I guess not really prehensile. Oh, he does have a little tail, and a little tail in the front. It looks super, super creepy. I love these things. And then this is all the spare. Let me zoom out a little bit here. These are all the spare bits that are going to come on here. So you're still going to get quite a bit of bits, so to speak, to customize your other miniatures and crush the Ultramarine, poor unfortunate Ultramarine there. And just to give you an idea of scale, this is about how they rank up to a Primaris. So a full, in a lot of cases, almost a full head over a Primaris, maybe because they're standing on a rock or something like that, but still very, very cool looking and very neat to see. So let's check out the Accursed or the Accursed, whichever. So this squad is a bit of something new and something we hadn't seen before. Of course, we've always seen cultists, but now these guys are something like you know, cultists mixed with a demon. So we don't just have, you know, the possessed getting gobbled up by a demon. Now we have cultists doing it too. So a couple of, well, 5 25 mil bases, and then 2, is it 2 or 3? It's 3 40 mil bases for these guys. 1.5 sprues here. Like I said, remember they're $50. You're gonna get 8 models for $50, which is a little bit different math, I suppose, than the last one, but you know, it's still pretty pricey, I suppose. It's in GW money. But let's take a look at the instructions here. So the mutants out of this squad of Accursed Cultists or Accursed. That's it. That's the only time I'm saying this. All right, let's take a look at them. So these kind of go together. It looks like there's kind of a lot of work for, you know, like just a little tiny cultist model. Which I'm assuming they're tiny because they're going on 25 millimeter bases here. But a lot going on with this. This one seems to be quite the endeavor here. Now that I'm looking at it, front and right half, and it's got this slot here. So you're definitely gonna want to hold on to these probably as you're gluing them. You don't want to just glue it and then set it down, because these are the type of things when you have so many different angles on so many different planes, they tend to slide, and you don't want it getting away from you and then looking like he's actually like kind of a little bonkers, a little too bonkers, even when chaos is involved. Looks like some sort of arm or something goes on the front, like a leg. I don't even know what's going on. Like a leg tentacle. Somebody clearly been watching too much John Carpenter's The Thing. I'm sure that's where a lot of stuff's inspired from. And maybe some Event Horizon 2, I suppose, or Hellraiser even. Alright, so over here, this guy gets a little bit easier. It looks like just 3 different halves here, kind of pop them together. And then this back bit, I suppose. And then this model... Wait, what? There's one... Oh, you literally just put one on the sprue and it's done. That's cool. And then this guy is all this, and then this guy... And then this guy here is a body and some arms. And that's it. Weird. Didn't expect that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's 5. Okay, cool. Well, that's a freebie right there. You just cut them out and put them on the base. Then the Tormentor guys here. And these guys are really interesting. You can take them in squads of 8 or 16. And you can always bring one back. So like, you know, if you get shot by like a Lascan and you want to take the wound on one of these guys, but if you want to soak up, you know, multiple wounds from bolter fire or something like that on these guys, I would assume. It's an interesting concept. Now this one here, this guy looks like the very old Possessor we used to just kind of glue on, or maybe that was a Spawn. That was a Spawn. We used to glue on like all the heads and things onto here. Very interesting stuff. And then this is a different one. So this guy just has like the dragon head and all that stuff going on here. And then you've got this one. No, this is really wild. All right, so apparently it's just 2 pieces and you kind of got to rotate it and lock it into this plane right here. That's interesting. And then once you do that, you can put this back bit on, and then he's got his little kickstand leg to kind of lock in there, and you put the head on. I personally think this guy looks like the Violator from Spawn, or maybe this one, or maybe they're all supposed to kind of look like the Violators from Spawn. This guy kind of looks like a dragon, but I don't know what all's going on with that. Let's take a look at the sprues, and I doubt we're going to be able to see much on these sprues because there really isn't a whole lot of stuff going on. Is that the one whole miniature? Yeah, there's the one whole miniature. Just a single miniature, no big deal. Just hanging out, or the rest of you peasants have to get assembled. And then this is the larger sprue with all the wings and all the other left and right halves and things here. Not going to really be even close to able to tell you anything about this, just looking at it. I'm hoping it doesn't go together too poorly, but that's kind of wild. Like, that thing's so big. I wonder how it's actually going to look size-wise once we get it assembled. So, speaking of which, let's jump right into it. Oh, man. These things are T-I-N-Y. That's tiny, not teeny. These things, holy cow. This is a 25 mil base. So, here's how he stacks up to, and this is the one that just cuts out, and you just put him on a base. This is how he stacks up to a Primaris. So, you know, maybe this is the new scale they're going for with like Guardsmen or something like that. But man, these little cultist duders are tiny. And they're cool, don't get me wrong. Like, look at this dude with all his, like, you know, side tentacle sort of thing. Very, very neat stuff. And then you got these guys that look, all these guys look 100 times better than Poxwalkers. Poxwalkers look buster compared to these things. They're like super dope. Got a lot of character to them. I'm really liking them. So then there's this dude. Got a lot going on there with some talons. And then this crazy dude was all bloated and he won first prize with his like tentacle leg thing, sort of. I don't know what's going on with him. And then there's these guys. Like, I like this dude. He's a little Violator kind of looking. But man, they're kind of tiny too. Like, I thought these would be like on 60 mil bases or something. This is basically as tall as a Primaris Space Marine and as tall as a Possessed. I mean, when you start comparing them to like these guys here compared to the Possessed, holy cow, heads and shoulders above size-wise. It's just wild. I mean, they're great looking kits. It's just I'm a little taken aback by the size. There's the dragon, Trogdor, the Possessinator, Trogdor. And then you got this guy here that looks like some sort of gorilla arms. My strong arm. I don't know what's going on back here, but it doesn't look pretty. There he is right there. So he's got the big dude and little dude. A lot going on right there. Definitely Possessed. So very, very cool miniatures. I got no problems with them. I think they go together great. I think they're, you know, it's really cool to see Chaos finally getting some really, really cool Chaos kind of like design stuff out instead of just like random tentacles and things that didn't make any sense and looked pretty subpar in a lot of cases. I think GW always struggled with these guys when they had to sculpt all the stuff by hand. But now with the computers, man, these Possessed and these Accursed, they are just gorgeous looking. And, you know, I can't say enough good things about the design and the look to them. Of course, the pricing, well, you know, that always leaves a little bit to be desired, especially when you might want 2 squads of these Accursed here, so you can take a 16-man big beef squad and kind of walk it across the board and do that thing. So really interesting stuff as far as these go. So kind of the very last, the swan song, so to speak, of Chaos releases for Warhammer 40k, and it's I want to say they might have saved one of the best kits for last, because those Possessed are really cool. These Cultists are really cool too. But I don't know what everybody's going to prefer at the end of the day. Let us know in the comments, you know, which you prefer and why. And if these aren't some of the best, you know, Possessed style models out there, please let me know what is, because I haven't seen it yet. And I may just agree with you at this point. I'm not exactly sure. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching our unboxing build of the new Chaos Space Marine Demon Wave, so to speak, that just came out this weekend. Don't forget, you can always get your hobbies for less from dicehead.com, Amazon, and of course, hopefully, your local game store as well. And before you run over to those websites, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and follow everything we do here. If you liked that video feature, consider supporting us over at patreon.com and get back in the mail each month a miniature crate full of some of the stuff we review here, as well as some of the top 3D artist designs out there too, to help support what they're doing. Plus, discount coupon codes from some of those same manufacturers. They're yours to keep, whether you cancel or stay on. It's totally up to you. Obviously, we want to keep you as happy as possible. So check it out over at patreon.com/spikybits.